What if I told you there is a power inside your own mind that could change your entire life, but almost no one ever learns how to use it? Not because it's hidden, not because it's complicated, but because no one ever teaches you how. A man once discovered this power and spent his life trying to explain it to the world. His name was Paramahansa Yogananda, and what he found might completely change how you see yourself. Most people live their entire lives reacting to stress, reacting to fear, reacting to what others think, reacting to whatever life throws at them. And over time, they begin to believe something dangerous. This is just how life is. But what if that isn't true? What if the problem is not your life, but the way your mind responds to it? Yogananda taught something radical. You are not controlled by your life. You are controlled by your mind's response to life. And if that's true, then everything can change. Because the mind is not just something that thinks. It is something that creates. Not in a magical or mystical way, but in a deeply practical one. Your focus shapes your perception. Your perception shapes your decisions. Your decisions shape your reality. And yet, almost no one is ever taught how to control their focus. Think about that. You are given one of the most powerful tools in existence, your mind, and then sent into the world without ever learning how to use it. It's like being handed a machine capable of building your future, but never being shown how to turn it on. So you use it randomly, emotionally, unconsciously, and then you wonder why your life feels out of control. Yogananda saw this clearly. He taught that the human mind is a creative force, that wherever your attention goes, your energy follows, and wherever your energy flows, your life begins to move. If your attention is constantly pulled toward fear, your mind strengthens fear. If your attention is trapped in limitation, your life begins to reflect limitation. But if your attention is directed with clarity, something changes. This is not about pretending everything is positive. It's about understanding that attention is direction, and direction determines outcome. Imagine two people living in the exact same situation. Same job, same stress, same environment. One feels stuck, overwhelmed, powerless. The other begins to shift. Slowly, but consistently. They become calmer, more focused, more intentional. And over time, their lives begin to separate. Not because of luck, not because of talent, but because of control. Inner control. Yogananda believed that this is the difference between those who remain stuck and those who transform their lives. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. This power is not instant. It cannot be downloaded. It cannot be switched on overnight. It must be trained. And that's why most people never access it. Because training the mind requires something rare: stillness. In a world full of noise, constant stimulation, and endless distraction, very few people ever sit long enough to observe their own thoughts. But without awareness, there is no control. And without control, there is no direction. Yogananda taught that the first step is not to change your thoughts, but to see them, to step back and observe, to notice how your mind reacts without immediately following it. Because the moment you realize you are observing your thoughts, you also realize something else. You are not your thoughts. You are the one aware of them. And in that realization, something powerful happens. A space begins to form. A space between what happens to you and how you respond. And in that space, there is choice. That choice is where your power lives. Because once you can choose where to place your attention, you begin to take back control of your life. Not all at once, but moment by moment. You choose to focus instead of react. You choose to observe instead of collapse. You choose clarity over confusion. And slowly, your inner world begins to change. And when your inner world changes, your outer world follows. This is the part most people miss. They try to change their life without changing their mind. But the mind is where everything begins. Your habits, your emotions, your decisions, all of it. So if you never learn to guide your attention, you remain at the mercy of whatever captures it. And in today's world, everything is competing for your attention. Social media, news, noise, opinions, pulling your mind in every direction, except the one you choose. Yogananda warned about this long ago. He understood that a scattered mind leads to a scattered life, but a focused mind creates direction, and direction creates results. Over time, those who practice this begin to notice subtle changes. They react less impulsively. They think more clearly. They make better decisions. And slowly, almost invisibly, their life begins to shift. Not dramatically at first, but steadily. And that steady change is what transforms everything. Because real transformation is not sudden. It is built through repeated awareness, through small moments of control, through choosing again and again where your attention goes. And where your attention goes, your life follows. The power Yogananda discovered was never meant for a select few. It was never meant to be hidden. It exists in every human mind, right now, in you. But the difference between those who change their lives and those who don't is simple. One learns to use it, the other never does.